Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is Wednesday, April 15th, and we are surging once again for the eighth day in a row. Market is just on an absolute rally. And I'll show you what I'm looking at here. We're going to live trade the QQQ, and let's see if she holds up for us. I'll give you guys my possible scenarios here that I'm looking for, and we'll get right to it. All right, all right, all right. So we got QQQ busted above previous day high, pre-market high, and also this massive macro supply zone. And the 15-minute confirms here. So bias is definitely to the long side. And now I'm going to be watching these 2-minute dips. And I want to get a possible long entry here, but I want to see how this 2-minute unfolds here. So let's see what happens. I like this retest here. I want to see a little bit of a hold, and then I'll start in with my half position here. Looking to start in with 4 contracts here, 4 contracts. Let's see how it goes. Pre-market high and this massive macro supply zone, which is now demand, will be my stop. And this is my half position. So if it goes anywhere around this zone lower here, then I'll stop out and I'll re-enter if it keeps going. But for now, I want to see the starter do some work, and then I'll add 4 more once we hold and consolidate here. So let's see how we're looking here. Show you guys what I'm looking at. So this was my starter position here. And pre-market high is going to be my stop zone. I don't want to stop out before that. All right, here we go. Now we're long. So let's see how this goes. I do love the setup. I don't love how extended we are, in general, but I just got to take these setups robotically and just let them work, and just trust my system. All right. So let's see how it goes. I would like to add 4 more, but I need the chance to add the 4 more. So far, it's looking pretty good. Now, I'm not looking to take anything off until we get 1.5R. That's going to be my first de-risk point. This is looking good. We're above previous day high. We're above pre-market high. We're above this massive macro supply zone that we had. And so far, we are looking good. Let's see how she goes. This is looking good. Now, if we come back and retest this 13 a couple times, then I'll add in 4 more contracts if I can. $15 minute looks good. 2-minute looks good. Now we just need some continuation. So this was always scenario 1 playing out in my head. So as usual, every day we've been playing out the possible scenarios. So this is scenario 1, previous day high, retest, long. So that's scenario 1 for me here. And typically what I'd want to see is something along the lines of this. Okay. And then we got scenario 2, which we're going to go and put it right down here. So if this play doesn't work and we fail, then I'll look for scenario 2. Pre-market low, retest short. That'll be my scenario 2. And these are the only scenarios, long or short, that I want to play today. I don't want to be playing inside pre-market range. So if we're going to be going short, we need to fail the pre-market high, previous day high zone. But let's see what happens. If we get some 13 EMA dips and holds with nice wicks, I'll add to this. So far, we're looking good. We're looking healthy. Nothing wrong with this trade so far. Let's see how it goes. Now, the beauty of going half size is you can let it work for a bit. Now we're approaching the 13 EMA, so I want to see us hold this dip for a potential add. But if we blow through it, then I'll get out and I'll regroup for the next trade. Let's see, here we are at the 13. Let's see if we hold this dip. I want to see a nice wick off this zone. I'm going to add 4 more here. Let's see how she goes. So we wicked off that 13 EMA and I liked the way it looked. So I added 4 more contracts right here. So my average is going to be somewhere around here now. So if we can bust through these highs, I will take some off. See how she goes. Now, I'd like to see this candle flip green. So far, we're holding well, but I need to see it flip green. I like the bottom wicks. Let's see what happens. See how she goes. Worst case, we can always stop out and regroup for a re-entry. So no big deal. Let's just see what happens. I do love adding at the 13 EMA dip, that yellow line that I showed you guys. I really love adding there. That's usually the first dip that holds really well. So let's just see how it goes. Fingers on the trigger here if it doesn't work. See us wick off this zone. So far, you can see the bull flag that's being formed here is really nice. Really nice bull flag. Now we just want to see it curl above this zone, and at these new highs, I'll take some off, but let's see what happens here. Need to see new highs in order to take any off. So far, it's looking healthy. I like how these 13 dips are holding, but we need a little bit of continuation here. We need to bust through these highs right here, get some volume in here. So far, everything looks good. Holding above this zone. We have massive, massive, massive supply zone here. So this used to be a supply zone and now it's a demand zone, of course, because we had so many touch points on the 4 hour. Like if you can zoom out, I'll show you guys. the touch points that we had here. Like, look at this zone. Look at this massive, massive, massive zone. So it's a good place to go long. See how it goes. So far, it's looking good. We need to rip past these highs, and I'll take some off. It's looking healthy so far. Let's see. Almost tempted to add 4 more here. Looking like it's gonna rip. There we go. Let's get a little bit of continuation here. I didn't get that ad, but that's okay. Definitely looked okay, so let's see what happens. I wanna see us rip past this high here, and then we could take off half. Need to rip past these highs. Let's see how it goes. All right, we need some continuation here. We need to bust through these highs to get a little continuation, I think. So far, just flagging, stalling. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. We need to push through these highs, and then we can get our first scale points out. We'll take half off at 1.5R, but let's see. So far, this is a great looking trade. Nothing wrong with this trade, but we need to push past this high right here. Let's get a push past that high right here. Then it should get a nice movement upwards. Let's see. Scenario 1 playing out really well. This is scenario 1. So far playing out really well. I like the look of this. Just need some continuation. Let's get past these highs, and once we hit that alarm bell, then we'll take off half. So let's see. I might take off 2 at high of day because I just should. Let's see. All right, we're gonna take off 2 there just because we're at the highs here. So always smart to de-risk a little bit at the highs. And then we got 4 more waiting up there. So let's see how it goes. Looking beautiful so far. Nothing wrong with this. This is looking great. Let's see. Let's see how she goes. Man, this is looking healthy. I love it. Love the look of this chart. Here we go. We mapped this out from the beginning, looking beautiful. Now we're at the highs now, so I de-risk 2 right here. Looking beautiful. Let's see. Okay, now we need to hear this alarm go off in order for us to take out 75% of our position out. Once this high gets hit, I want to see that high get hit. Let's see. Once we hear that alarm bell, we take off this 4 right here. Let's see what happens. This is looking beautiful. It's exactly the curl that we wanted to see. I wanted to add 4 more, I just didn't get a chance to, so let's see what happens here. I can de-risk 4 more. Let's see. Once you hear that alarm, that means we're de-risking 4 more. Let's see what happens. Push through these highs, 1.5R will be hit. Let's see what happens. There we go. All right, 4 more out. Beautiful trade. Absolutely beautiful trade. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now, we ride these runners, okay? So I'll show you how I manage these runners. Now, we never want to let the position go red on us ever. So now our next scale spot is going to be 2R, okay? Once you hear this alarm bell go off, I'm going to take off 2 more. That was gorgeous. Couldn't have played that better. P&L sitting pretty. Total P&L moving nicely. Let's see how it goes here. Couldn't have traded that better. We played out the scenario from the beginning. Beautiful scenario 1, previous day high retest long. That beautiful bull flag over that supply zone to turn into demand. I couldn't have traded that better. I'm glad I did that for you guys live today. So let's see how this goes. When this 2R hits, we're going to take off 1 more. Listen for that bell. Listen for that bell. Let's see what happens. We need this bell to hit so I can take off 1 more. That was perfect. That was perfect. All right, let's see what happens with these runners here. Now, the way I'm going to be managing this position is I'm never letting this trade go green on me. Sorry, go red on me ever. Okay. So I want to see what this runners do. But once it hits my break even point here and it goes to 0, I got to get out because I'm not giving money back. So let's see how it goes. Big dip down. Big dip down. Let's see if this holds. Now we got another 13 EMA touch. Finger on the trigger to get out the rest. If this doesn't hold, I'm going to get out the rest. Risk one more here. Ride the rest. Let's see what happens. This might stop me out break even. Let's see. $13 EMA dip holding nicely so far. Let's see how it goes. Nice hold. Nice hold. That beautiful stuff. That is nice. That is nice. All right, let's see if we can get our alarm to hit. That was another perfect 13 EMA dip. Usually the first couple dips of this 13 hold really, really good. They hold really, really good. So let's see, almost at 2R. Once I get this alarm to go off, I'll trail my runner pretty tight because I don't want it to go red on me. Man, that's nice. There it is. That's nice. Beautiful stuff, man. Love it. Love that trade. Wow. Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. P&L currently at 320. Let's see if we can hit our next target zone and we'll get out. See what happens here. That was gorgeous though. Just gorgeous. Love that. I didn't like how hard we slammed down, but look at that. Look at that. Oh, yes. Let's go. Let's go. That was nice. That was a big pump. So far, we're at 2.8R on our risk, meaning we risked $1 to make $2.80. So that's really good. And just a beautiful textbook move that we can repeat every single day of the market, every single day. Previous day high, retest long. It's a very repeatable move. And obviously watching the macro level too helps a lot. So for me, like I broke down this massive macro level, show you guys why I had confidence in this level. If you can see here on the 4 hour, look at this level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 massive touch points on this. And like not just any touch points, but just massive rejections, right? Look at these massive 4 hour rejections. So I knew if we closed above that level on the 15-minute chart, which we did right here, closed above it. Like we tried here, failed, and then boom, just a massive closure above. I knew that was go time, and that's such a big level that I can put conviction behind it. And of course, we're above previous day high, we're above pre-market high, we're closing above, we're bull flagging into that zone, the 13 EMA lining up perfectly there. There's no reason for me not to shoot. This is just an obvious play that I've seen so many times. There's no reason for me not to shoot. Now we'll trail this, and we'll see how much we can squeeze out of this thing. That was just a very repeatable move, right? That's just what it is. It's just a very repeatable move. So now I'm going to bar this candle by candle. So I'll have my stop underneath this candle. See how much juice we can squeeze out of this, because there's a lot of demand here now. There's a lot of buyers sitting at this level. We smashed through that level, and all those sellers are now turning into exiters. So what happens when people exit? Other people buy. They have to sell their shares. So those people are just massive selling their shares right now, and then people like me who are buying those shares got it at a discount. Look at that. So we're moving nicely. We're moving really nicely. This level was massive. There was no reason not to take it. I got in twice, but I really wanted another 4 contracts. I just didn't act fast enough to add for my third position, which would have made this a really nice day, like a way better day, but that's okay. That was just a beautiful read all in all, and I'm really happy with this play. We're hitting almost 3R here, almost 3R. So soon I'll probably just get out fully and just let this thing regroup. Because the second move here after a play like this would be watching that 48 dip. That's the purple. That's the purple line right here. That's usually what happens after a massive move is price will come down and retest that 48. That's just a secondary scenario that we usually play out after a nice trending move. So that's beautiful, man. I love that trade. That was a beautiful trade. Wouldn't change a thing. And I would repeat this trade every day of the week. If I could see it every day of the week, I'm repeating this trade every day of the week. That was so nice. All right. So that was a beautiful play, guys. I really hope if somebody watches this video, they can get some value from this, but very repeatable system. Any beginner can take this play every day of the week. Okay. That's going to be it for me. I caught my banger of the day. We've been on an absolute heater since we started this live YouTube channel, and I'm having fun. I'm really enjoying this. This is fun. So I'm going to be doing this a lot. And hey, I know I'm new. I know I don't have a big following and everything, but I'm calling out banger trades. Okay. Go back and watch all the lives. I'm like 10 for 11. So like, subscribe if you can, if you're watching this, and join me on some of these lives. That'd be sweet. All right. Cause I'm going to be doing this every day. All right, guys. Peace.